What's up, YouTube? So the SOS band, what was their peak in their prime? I gotta say 80 to about 84. Um, Take Your Time, Do It Right was the jam. I mean, that song went almost 7, 8 minutes. I never wanted that song to end. Love that chorus, love that groove. They coming out of Atlanta at the time, and the only act at the time that was happening out of Atlanta was Brick. So this was long before Bobby Brown, LA, and Babyface, etc. came out, the ATL, and then of course everybody hip hop and so on and so forth. But anyway, Outkast, all that. But I love the groove. I love the vocals. I like they kind of remind me of a down home south version of Rolls Royce. That's kind of who they put me in the frame of mind of. You know, I like the catchiness of it, and I thought they really hit with what they were putting out. Um, then when they worked with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, which was the infamous story when the whole snowstorm, I think it was in Atlanta, and Prince fired Jamie Lewis, and they ended up mixing and working with him, and that was the turning point of everything. Just be good to me, all that stuff. That whole era when they worked with Jamie Lewis was bumping. As a matter of fact, you could say that the soundboards and clips from that particular era with the Jamie Lewis sound, which would also spring for loose ends of sound in a lot of ways. So, you know, But anyway, SOS Band had a very distinctive Tell Me If You Still Care, had some smooth, slow jams, had some real cool, uplifting bumpers. It was one of those feel good bands, one of those kind of bands that you just kind of just groove to. Picnicky, outside, kicking it on the lawn, you know, and one of those bands that could deliver that, you know. I think, but again, when you come up with a song, take your time, do it right. You set such a high standard. It's hard to ever reduplicate that again because that one hit so hard. It was just like bump. It just like hit you like a ton of bricks, and you kind of like, okay, where do we go from here, and how's it gonna feel? But make no mistake about it, this was one of the. They were a good group, and they were a group that I definitely dug back in the day. I definitely liked the harmony, and I thought they was a good fit. And for people who just, I know people get all excited because a producer somehow is like, obviously a producer is important, but who can connect your songs? It's a mutual marriage. I don't like it when people act like the producer's just supposed to get all this credit. Because if they don't have the right artist doing their music, it just don't hit the same. You can be the producer and work with 99 people, and that stuff don't work. When SOS Band worked with Jim Lewis, that was part of their peak and prime as far as I'm concerned. I put the SOS Band working with Jim Lewis as important as when Jim Lewis worked with New Edition, and certainly with Janet Jackson and Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle. As a matter of fact, I think it's the finest. Alexander O'Neal's background vocals is still on there. So they would give tracks and some tracks, and they would keep certain vocals, and you'd hear it. But I enjoyed their work, and I thought a good band. One of those bands that I was considered good, and the songs definitely hit. So I think that particular era, I want to say 80 to about 84, 80 to 84, 85 type of thing. I was definitely into that SOS band sound, and I thought it had a good groove, and I definitely liked the way it felt, and a lot of good memories. And again, with the production, with the quality and the vocals, and you know, and they still perform, still knock it out. So that's where I look at their peak and their prime, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another and share if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.